Greetings, YouTube. Today I'm going to be reviewing a small niche games supplement. This is the Swamp Dungeon of the Bandit Lord, written by Peter Spahn, artwork by J.V. West, and maps by Tim Harton. And once again, an excellent job done by both Peter and Tim. I do love Tim's maps. So I'm going to give you a little blurb here because this is a module. I'm going to speak in generalities. And I would like to point out that I did receive this as a free review copy. Okay. Swamp Dungeon of the Bandit Lord is a short swords and wizardry white box adventure designed for 3 to 6 characters of 1st through 3rd level, about 12 levels total. The adventure involves exploration of a dungeon that has been magically transformed into a swamp cave complex. Characters can expect to encounter a wide range of monsters and challenges, so a variety of classes is recommended. Said note, this adventure takes place in Willow Valley, a fantasy sandbox that is fully detailed in the White Box Omnibus, published by Barrel Rider Games and available at rpgnow.com. Willow Valley is centered around Willow Lake and is home to humans, elves, dwarves, halflings, and other fantasy races. Valley setting can be easily adapted to any fantasy campaign world. I like the fact that they included the racial mix in that blurb, because that would definitely help a GM figure out where in their world to stick this in the event they're not using that supplement, the White Box Omnibus from Barrel Rider Games, because in some regions of their world, these races may be far more rare than others. They could be dirt common in some places, and then some places you gotta get a response halflings, So I think that's quite a handy little thing. Now, again, I don't want to give much away from about this, so I will. This is a general statement about it. This is a solid little adventure. It's going to take place all in one location. It has a few hooks that let you get into it, and a few hooks that you could be expanded upon afterwards. There isn't a whole lot of expansion within the module unless the GM themselves decided to expand the complex size if they felt that it wasn't big enough, or they just happen to like larger complexes for their dungeon crawls. Some people really like the big, expansive stuff. And Small Niche Games has done things like that, so go check out their selection, because they do have some stuff that covers some very large territory underground. I did like it. I felt that it had a nice balance overall. You're going to have to be comfortable with the concepts of the environment. So if your characters have never encountered a swamp environment, that could be a significant challenge. And the type of creatures they're in. Say if they're from a region, say semi-Arctic temperate forests, this could be a big change for them. They may not really have any knowledge whatsoever about what to expect in a swamp environment. Whereas if they're from a swamp environment, this could just be Tuesday. I liked the module. I thought it was well written, well presented, and again, Tim did a great job with the map that's presented here, though there's only the one. It's a short adventure. It's going to occupy the people of that level and challenge them, and in particular, if they're not careful about the final encounter, they're going to have some difficulties here. They're definitely going to have to make sure that they watch themselves. And there is a not the ultimate in combat, but there's one other in here which could also pose a risk if they don't plan accordingly, which has, in my experience, been kind of a theme in the OSR movement, is that careful planning is almost always required for the types of encounters that are thrown at players. I think that the OSR modules tend to be a little less spongy in that regard to the characters. There's a little less chance of recovery if they screw up. Some people like that model, some people don't. So there you go, folks. I would recommend this module for that the adventure range that it's aimed at. Like I said, about 12 levels, and it has a generic quality that could be easily fit into any campaign that has a valley or such, or small hillock where this could be set.